Hey guys, this is Chetan for Gizmo Times, and today we are going to talk about the Realme C25 and do the quick unboxing and a full review of the smartphone. Before we begin, I hope you're all doing good and you keep yourself safe. Wear a mask whenever you venture out and also sanitize your hands as soon as you come back, and I hope you take care of you and your family members. So let's start with the C25's specifications and a quick unboxing. The C25 comes in after the C15. C15 had two variants and major variants because they were differing with the chipset. There was a MediaTek version with the Helio G35 and there was a Snapdragon one with the Snapdragon 460. Both of them otherwise were similar, but except for the performance, everything else was the same. Now, this phone competes with a few in the same price range where it comes in. There's Micromax in one with the Helio G80. There's Redmi 9 Prime with the Helio G80 and Realme's Narzo 30A with the Helio G85. So almost all of them have a similar kind of a chipset and the similar performance. Helio G70 isn't really different. If we talk about the core performance, the G70, G80 and G85 are not really different, and that's where the C25 actually lands in. There were three smartphones launched here, but the C25 is the most powerful of the three there. So this is the box package, the standard box packaging that you see, and it mentions a few major specifications on the back of the box itself. And you can see it has a huge battery. That's a 6000 mAh battery there. 18-watt fast charge support is also offered. There's also the instant fingerprint sensor on the back of the device. There's a 6.5-inch large display, but that comes with a 720p resolution. That's 720 into 1600 pixels. Apart from that, you also have a 13MP AI triple camera combination. There's a 13 megapixel primary camera, 2 megapixel macro sensor, and also a 2 megapixel black and white lens. So there are two options in terms of colors. You have watery gray and also watery blue, and with the variants based on the internal specs, you have 4+64, 4+128. So the RAM stays the same, that's 4GB, but there's 64 and 128GB as storage options there. Now let's start with the unboxing. So this is the standard box package. We aren't going to do any fancy unboxings here. I'll just quickly show you what all you get in the box package. So there's no cover offered here. You'll have to buy one separately, but given that this comes with a plastic back, you'll just have to protect the display, and the back protection isn't really needed there. There's a safety guide and a quick start guide over here, and there's also a SIM ejector tool in the same area. So apart from that, now you have the smartphone, the C25, and I've just repacked it only to show you how it comes in packed in, because we've already been using this for a few days. I'll be talking about every aspect here. Now this is the C25 with that Realme branding, but not the large branding, which I basically don't like, but here it's kind of a subtle one and it actually looks good. So this is the gradient design on the back. You'll see the difference on the demarcating line on the top, and then the entire large area towards the bottom. And there's that square cutout for the cameras, but there are three cameras and one similar kind of a circle for a flashlight. The fingerprint sensor also rests on the back of the phone, and the good thing is, in terms of the ports, you see a USB Type-C port. So you don't have the micro USB port here. You have your USB Type-C, and along with that you have a speaker, the microphone, and a headphone jack towards the bottom. There's no secondary microphone, which is kind of interesting. I would have liked to see a secondary microphone, but that is not offered over here. And apart from that, you have the SIM access area on the left side, the power and volume rocker button on the right side. Now if you pull out the SIM area here to see whether it has a dedicated micro SD card slot, let's check that as well. Yes, there is a dedicated micro SD card slot, so you have all the three ports here. If you can see this, yes, there are three ports, and two are for the nano SIMs and one is for the micro SD card. So you don't have to worry about having two SIM cards and a separate micro SD card for the storage expansion. Now in terms of what else you see in the box package, so you have a large travel adapter with the 9V2A output. So this is the travel adapter with the 18-watt fast charging, and you also have a USB Type-C cable. No headphones, nothing except for these things, and that is kind of expected. You don't see most of the brands offering headphones even in the mid-range. So this is a budget range that we're talking about. C series anyway lands in the budget range, so you don't see those things, but there's no case. You'll have to buy one separately, as I said, in case you want to use it. Now since this is a plastic bag, there's no worry about this getting damaged, and this also doesn't have a glossy back, so that's a good thing to see. It's completely matte finish. There's no fingerprints, no smudges, nothing would be sitting on the back panel of this one. And the phone actually weighs about 209 grams. That is one thing you'll have to actually get used to it. Over 200 grams usually is what you feel as something heavy, and it does seem a bit heavier on the heavier side, but once you get used to it, and keeping in mind that it comes with a 6000 mAh battery, you'll have to obviously get used to it, because kind of a compromise with the weight is going to help you with the battery. 6000 mAh battery. I've used this with a single SIM so far, and it has easily offered almost 2 days of battery life. Obviously not as a primary smartphone for me, but still it won't change much for any regular user, because this is not a full HD plus display that would be taking up a lot of battery. It's an HD plus display which doesn't anyway drain a lot of battery, and apart from that, for the regular users it's not going to be an issue at all. I haven't tried this with the dual SIM, as I said. It's so I won't be giving my judgment based on that. For a single SIM user, it's going to easily last more than a couple of days as well, if you aren't using this as your primary smartphone. And this has 18-watt fast charge support, so we'll be doing a separate fast charge test for this to show you how much time it takes to charge from 0 to 100 if you are charging it with the 18-watt charger. Now, if you talk about the display, as I said, it's 720 to 1600 pixels, and this comes with the HD plus resolution. And we aren't sure about the protection that the screen has got, but there's a notch over the top, and it actually looks quite good with the colors. Even the sunlight readability was not bad when we actually did some test under the sunlight, and the brightness sensor actually works very well. I usually try it with my finger placed on the top towards the camera, because that's where the sensor rests, and the brightness actually was fluctuating very easily based on the light availability around it. Now, if we talk about the performance, as I said, this smartphone comes with the Helio G70 chipset, and it's not a bad chipset at all. If we talk about the budget range, the G series, in fact with the G35, I won't call it a powerful smartphone for any chipset, any smartphone that comes with that chipset, but the G70, G80, G85, as I said, that trio actually does well. And here with the G70 you get a benchmark score of about 2,07,000, but as I always say, benchmarks are not going to actually define the performance overall, because for user to user it depends on the apps that you're using. And for a regular user who has social media consumption, watching YouTube videos, watching Netflix and Amazon Prime videos most of the time, and also using a couple of other apps, it doesn't really make you worried about anything. 4 GB of RAM is also good enough, and you have 4+64, 4+128, so storage is going to be more important for you, but you can always add a micro SD card in case you feel like the 64 GB storage was not good enough for you. And apart from that, this is the Realme UI 2.0 based on Android 11, so you have most of the customization options. Customization in terms of not just the looks but also the features. So you have a set of features under personalizations where you can change not just the font but also the icon styles. So you can change the entire icon set, and also change the colors, font and display size, notification drawer, themes and wallpapers, everything from one single section of personalization. And this was introduced when the Realme UI 2.0 was introduced back last year. I mean, in a few smartphones it's already being rolled out as an update, but these smartphones are one of the early devices to come with the Realme UI 2.0 out of the box. Even the Realme 8 series did come with that, but in the C series, this would be the first smartphones. You also have the dark mode levels. That is something worth noticing, because under dark mode, usually what we see is a single dark mode in most of the smartphones, but here you have multiple options here: enhanced, medium, and gentle. So in case you feel like the screen has got too much of darkness when you have the dark mode activated, you can go to medium and gentle, and that's where the grayscale levels would actually change. And based on your liking, you can set the dark mode levels there. And apart from that, you also have, if you go to the Realme Lab towards the bottom in the settings, you have the smooth scrolling, sleep capsule, and also the dual mode audio. Dual mode audio is something where you can actually connect two headphones together. Headphones in the sense, one is with the headphone jack, other is a Bluetooth one. So if you and your friend are watching a movie, you want to use it closer to you, and you're watching it and they are sitting a bit too far from there, so it's easy. You can actually hand them over the Bluetooth earphone, and both of them would be working at the same time without an issue. So there are features that have been introduced in the Realme UI 2.0, and most of them are offered in this smartphone as well. So that's a good thing. You have the latest Android OS, and based on that, the latest Realme UI as well. So in terms of the cameras, if we talk about this compared to some of the other smartphones in this price range, these aren't the strongest set of cameras that you see. Most of the other smartphones also offer a 13MP camera, and they do work well, similar to this, but some of the brands also have went past ahead this, and they have offered 48MP sensors, which in a way would capture 12MP captures unless you actually toggle the 48MP mode there. But still, the pixel binning helps in getting better images in those smartphones. 13MP camera does a decent job here, but it won't be one of the best shooters in the brightly lit conditions. It did well with the color matching and also the color retaining all the colors when you capture those photos. But HDRs didn't come out that well, and even in low light conditions there was quite a lot of noise that we had actually sensed here. So in the camera sense, I would say that it's not one of the best cameras out there, but for a regular smartphone user for who doesn't really care about the cameras in this price range, it's going to do your job good enough. It's not going to be that worse as well. And on the front you have an 8 megapixel selfie camera, which also does a decent job of capturing selfies. Now for the video recording, you have full HD video recording and you can't do 4K videos, which is kind of obvious, but still worth mentioning that you can take 1080p videos from this smartphone. Now as I said, the battery life is one of the strong points of this smartphone. Having a 6000 mAh battery obviously helps in getting a long battery life, but while gaming, so this is one of those aspects where people actually care about it. For regular gamers who aren't into strong gaming, you obviously know this is not something that you would see recommended for hardcore gaming like competitive in PUBG Mobile, or even for someone who's doing rank pushes, not just in PUBG Mobile but also in games like COD Mobile. So for regular users, it's going to give you at least 5 hours of continuous gameplay if you are one of those gaming addicts. But not just that, it doesn't have a gyroscope. That is what you have to actually remember. If you're someone who uses gyroscope for the control of your weapons, it's not going to be helpful here because it doesn't have a gyroscope and it would take advantage of accelerometer for that gaming. Anyway, we are adding a quick gaming session here for you to see how good it works when we play PUBG Mobile on this smartphone. So that's it guys, this was an quick overview of the entire C25 smartphone. The Realme C25 is, one of the good choices in this price range. Thankfully, we aren't seeing some other chipset and we are seeing one of the tried and tested and a good working chipset, that's the Helio G70, which has done pretty well on not just smartphones from Realme earlier but also on smartphones from Infinix, which we tried and were very surprised with the performance there. So it's the similar kind of performance that you're seeing here as well. And as an overall device, this is quite a good recommendation, I would say. A good calling quality that we saw, connectivity options were good, dual volt is present, and you have the headphone jack as well here. The speaker output is kind of decent, not one of the heavy outputs that you see here, but still a decent output that you see. And apart from that, for the cameras is what I would say is a weak point of the smartphone. Otherwise, this is overall a good package for the price that it is being offered for. So that's it guys, this was a quick unboxing and a full review of the Realme C25 smartphone. If you have any other questions, do comment below with that questions and I'll try to answer them. And I hope you like this video and you subscribe to Gizmo Times for more. Thanks for watching. See you in the next video.